Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alan and I hope you find this video interesting. This is a little bit different to my normal sort of material. You can tell for a start that these guys have got guns. And as some of you will notice, I pretty much wargame ancients and a little bit into the Renaissance period with my samurai. I've had World War II figures for, well, a long time. Never really done anything with them. Purchased, bolt action version 1, version 2, never really done anything. And then a few things have happened and sort of triggered my interest. One of the most notable ones is that we've got bolt action 3 to be released imminently. And I got slightly embarrassed with myself not having done anything with the figures that I've got. So that's what's given me determination to actually go and do something. Plus, I really like these models. These are the Greek Evzones platoon from Great Escape Games with a few more bits and pieces added on. The light tank here is a model, 1/48 scale model from First Corps in the UK, which I think works quite nicely with these figures in terms of sizing. But I've also picked this up and I couldn't resist the idea of using this ready-made basing material for a Greek army. And it obviously maintains my interest in that sort of Mediterranean area or geographic region. So that's why I've decided to do what I've done. Just showing you a little bit of a heads up here, the state of the army at the moment, and I've gone through the normal process, filing off any sort of residue from the mould lines, etc., washing them off in a sort of detergent-y type material that I use. I use a degreaser, leave them overnight, and then make sure you give them a very, very thorough wash to clean off the degreaser. That I find gives you a really good basis for painting. Here is more figures than I'll ever need for the army, certainly for a competitive army of 1,000 points. Should also add that I've decided to sign myself up for the period, for the bolt action tournament at Warfare this year. As I produce this video, it's around about the second week in August, and the competition I think is something like the 12th and 13th of November. So I've got to get my finger out, got to get this army painted. My goal really is to have a lot of fun both doing the modelling and the painting, but also putting the army together. So this tank here is a little bit of a stretch in terms of historical accuracy. This is a Vickers Mark 6 tank. Really the Greeks I think had about 10 Mark 3s, and the Mark 6s that they did get after the war had started were a B variant, which basically has a smaller machine gun. This was a model, as I say, from First Corps. I love the little model, and I think for a bit of fun racing about the board, you're going to have to be pretty mean if you start arguing about the length of the gun. And I'll also be using some captured Italian L3, L35 tankettes, or at least one of them, just again for a bit of fun. So the objective with the army is to field as many different types of units and figures as I possibly could within the points that are allowed. Whether version 3 changes all of that remains to be seen, but I'm having fun putting it together. I've got a small anti-tank gun ready over here. That's it. And I've obviously got loads of squads of infantry. I've got some interesting character figures that Great Escape Games do. There's a sort of military priest there. And as maybe some of you have picked up on, what I've done in terms of basing and organisation is to put the figures on the 25mm bases that you're required to, but I've stuck these rare earth magnets in just to help with the transportation. My idea is to basically put them on a box where we've got some steel paper like this, and then use the magnetic effect of the rare earth magnets to stop them going all over the place. I think it will just be a little bit more efficient than using the sort of cut out foam that a lot of people have, and I'll get more figures stored in space, and space for me is a thing I have to factor in quite heavily. Now, just to say, what have I done with the rare earth magnets? Well, I've actually put a 3mm pilot hole in. Be careful when you use the drill, and then I'm manually using a 5mm drill bit, and I've bought 5mm by 2mm rare earth magnets. Why have I done that? Well, basically, I wanted to have a little bit of resistance inside the 25mm. So as you can see, it's not entirely clean, and that is deliberate because I want the magnets, to I'll just show you them off screen. I want the magnets to be slightly tough and slightly tight within the sort of hole that I've created. Let's just take those away, and I tend to put them on the end of the drill bit, and I don't know if this is going to go very well at a distance. There you go. We just pop those in. Now that's probably, I mean, you can buy these ready-made, and certainly you can buy them ready-made with the hole, but I think just a little bit of, yeah, I mean, that's pretty tight on its own. And then what I do is file the end off a little bit, try and scratch up the surface of the magnet, just humour myself into thinking that's providing a key for the glue, pop it down, and she's ready to go. I've gone a bit overboard with the one for the gun, and I am going to do one, sorry, this is not the gun, this is a base for the tank. I am going to put the tank on a base, just because I think it will fit in nicer with the rest of the army. So anyway, this was only designed to be a quick heads up. This is what I'm going to be painting. As I said before, it's August. I've got to have it ready by November, and ideally I'd like to have at least one game and run through with the rules before we get to the competition. I'll keep you up to date with progress. I've got a few other things on the go as well that you might be interested in. I've discovered that I've got a lot of samurai to paint, so there'll be more of those. And just generally keeping up to date with getting things done. Hope that's been of interest, and I hope you enjoy following the progress of the army. See you soon. Hi there. Just as a bit of a addendum to my introductory video, I thought I'd show you guys this. This is a proper Vickers light tank. I think they call it the Dutchman. I think something to do with the fact that the tank was originally designed to be an overseas export, with either the Dutch government or Dutch company taking some of these. I obviously like this model a lot, the model I picked up from First Corps, but to be more historically minded, this tank would be the type that they were using. It's been resin printed in a 3D printer. Obviously I haven't glued these bits together yet. Now, your patient, yeah, I mean, this is not ideal. I've still got all the supports to clear out underneath by the tracks, but I don't think you can buy this commercially as a model, if you like. And if you could, it would probably be someone 3D printing it anyway. But I think, you know, just to add a little bit of authenticity to the army, I think it's great. I've have scaled the print a little bit. It's about 110% or thereabouts, maybe 120% of what was the original sizing. It's not great. It's a little bit, you know, uneven. So I'm going to try some new resin, but I think that'll be the way that I'll go, just to be, as I say, more historically minded. Looking at Bolt Action 3 and the news that I've read so far, I may have to find 2 or 3 of those vehicles, because it's looking more likely that you'll field a platoon of light tanks if that's the way that you go. But, you know, as I said before, I've got enough here to pretty much do most things. So that's the end of the closing video, or the introductory video. What I'm going to do now is start to get these guys undercoated and ready for the table. See you soon.